is that thing?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Just keep moving.
I think it's gaining on... Ah!
Orange, no! Wait. Ah! Go ahead. Make it quick. Oh.
Leave him alone. Not good. That thing can travel through the vents just like me. They're fast, too. I gotta think quick before... I won't let you hurt my friends.
Stop this!
Son.
No!
I'm sorry, son. Your father didn't mean to hurt you. He's just having trouble controlling his new urges.
Mom, is it really you? How is this possible? You died.
It all began the day of the fire. The flames were blazing, and the smoke from our apartment was rising high into the sky. Your father and I were struggling to find you and your brother amidst smoke, calling out your names. You both had hidden, crawling under this and that because of how frightened you were. You were just kids, and you didn't understand that this was exactly what not to do during a fire. Thankfully, against all odds, we found you hiding away in the crawl space. Your father had me take you outside while he continued to look for your brother. We ran down the stairs and made it safely outside. But as we stood on that street corner amidst the onlookers, I started to panic. It was taking too long. Your father couldn't find your brother. I'd lose them both if I didn't do something. I gave you one last big hug, asked one of our neighbors to watch you, and then ran right back into that building. I rummaged through the apartment. Flaming horrors and ash covered it by now. I looked around as best as I could through the smoke when finally I saw them. Both of them were now passed out, stuck under a beam. I ran to them, and in a sudden burst of energy that I still can't explain, I was able to lift the beam off of them. Before I could reach the door to safety, the blaze consumed us all. The flame had reached the gas line, and the whole place exploded in a ball of fire. It's a miracle that we survived. Badly burned, we were thrown from the building and catapulted down into the back alley far below. Trash bags broke our fall, but we were in pain. And by the time the ambulance arrived, we had passed out. We awoke in a hospital, bandages covering the three of us head to toe. The fire had done irreversible damage. I didn't dare remove the bandages out of fear of what I might see. Your father and brother were similarly broken. Son, believe me when I say we wanted to contact you, but I was so worried about what you might think, that you might be afraid of me, of us. So I decided to look over you from the shadows instead. We watched as you moved from foster home to foster home, school to school, flunking out left and right. I couldn't bear it. I wanted nothing more than to help you, to guide you, but I just couldn't. I figured that you would find your own way, and after a while, I was proven right. You might have fallen into a bad crowd, but you also fell in love, and your family couldn't be prouder. We watched from afar as you welcomed your daughter into your home, and then later, we saw when those thugs attacked your wife. I am so sorry, son. Just know that we were always watching over you, and that meant getting revenge. I'm not proud of this, but your father and I dealt with them shortly after. No one was going to hurt my baby boy and get away with it, especially now that he had a daughter of his own to protect. It was years later when we decided that we wanted nothing more than to come forward, to reveal ourselves to you, no matter the result. That girl of yours needed to know that she had a whole family that loved her, and you needed to not be alone in this world. Just as we were heading to your apartment, we saw your daughter hanging up missing posters with your face on them. We couldn't believe it. There was no way that you would have abandoned your daughter. Not like we did. We knew something had gone wrong. And so we started an investigation that led us here, to the Rainbow Friends play place. We arrived at the play place together, your father and I. It was dark, and it was scary, but we knew that our son that you had to be here somewhere. And so we got to work. We searched every inch of this place, and as we did, we were attacked. A horrible blue monster had come charging at us. As it emitted a loud roar, we could do nothing but flee from it. We hit an event, and luckily the blue creature had passed us by. Oh, we breathed a sigh of relief. That is, until we saw what was lurking in the vent. You. We didn't know it was you at the time, of course, and you had no reason to recognize us. And so you chased us down. It was only through the intervention of one man that you didn't kill us right then and there. A gated wall slammed shut within the vent, blocking you from following us. A man reached into the vent and pulled us out. He explained that he was the owner of the play place and then apologized for his employees' behavior. He went on to say that he knew who we were and what we were looking for. Your father almost decked him across the face, but the man said something next that gave us pause. He said that he could heal us. It sounded too good to be true, but when he brought us to his lab, it started to make sense. It was outfitted with all sorts of fancy technology and medical equipment, and for the first time in a long time, we had hoped to restore ourselves. The man promised that after the operation, he would introduce us to our son. The whole thing stank, but we were too blinded with anticipation to question it further. We agreed. Next thing we knew, we were strapped into machines and the process was underway. Our skin was restored, just as the man had promised, and for a brief second, we truly saw each other for the first time in years. This moment of happiness quickly turned sour. As the process was only just beginning, our skin began to darken into a purple hue as our bodies morphed further. We started to resemble the purple beast we saw in events, and I knew then what had become of our son. But it was too late. Once the process had ended, your father was blind with rage. It was like he had gone feral. The man sedated him before telling me that the process was a failure. I tried to plead with him to return us to normal, but the man only laughed. He mocked me, saying that he only gave us what we wanted. But we didn't want this. He then said that he already had a purple rainbow friend, and that we as duplicates would be locked away in storage as a contingency plan. I begged to see you, to see my son, and again the man laughed, saying that that would be impossible. He didn't want any of his rainbow friends to have family for fear that they might gang up on him. It sounds like you formed a new family despite this, and he got his at the end. So that's everything. We were locked away with no hope of seeing either our boys again. Oh, son, I'm so sorry.
Mom, it's okay.
It's him.
Dad! Dad, it's me! You don't have to be angry anymore! You found me! We're finally all together again!
Together. Oh, honey, son, I'm so sorry.
I'm so happy to have you guys back. Wait, does this mean my brother's still out there somewhere?
We can only hope, son. We can only hope.